In the book of Proverbs, in chapter 27, it says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another." And I believe that that's true in multiple areas of your life. I've got a sign up here that is the motto of this channel, never best, always learning. So the goal is to know that we have a long ways to go. We never have arrived. There's always more to learn. And then being challenged by other people and seeing how that holds up. Recently, I decided to start a new segment, which is called Tater Talks. Now, I'm naming this after the name that my son came up with. I couldn't come up with a good name, and I asked at the dinner table one night, what should we call this thing? And he said Tater Talks, and I thought, you know what? That's pretty brilliant. So we're gonna go with that. It's a little goofy, but I think it'll be fun. We're starting episode 1 with my man, Gerry Harris from Texas. Let's get into it. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever Tater Talks, which is a name my son came up with. Couldn't figure out what to call this thing. That was his idea, and I kind of like it. So today we have Gerry Harris with us. Gerry, thanks for being here, man. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. A little bit on a downswing recently, but I'm doing all right.
I just pulled you away from the tables at the Juicy game, so I'm sorry. Thanks for the devotion, the commitment to be here. Sure. All right, so for those that don't know you, where'd you get your start? How'd you get into poker? Where are you at now?
My start was pretty much like a degenerate lifestyle. My stepfather taught me how to play, some real gamble games back when I was like 12 and 13 years old. And then I didn't really play much, but then once I got to college and online poker, boom, happened and I started, and then I just kind of went down the progression path of trying to get better and play people, and then realized I was extremely bad, and then try to get better, and it's just like a reoccurring cycle of, learning and then realizing you're terrible and then learning more and then trying,
Where are you at in that cycle right now?
I think I'm on the realizing I'm bad again.
I think I am too.
You got to go back to the books.
Okay, so that's how you got into poker. Tell us about where you're at now. You're living in Texas. Where are you from and all that?
Yeah, well, originally I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I moved down here about 45 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm in Texas grinding live cash games and trying to essentially make a living and do YouTube on the side and hopefully turn that into something.
Cool. Yeah, I met Gerry through YouTube. We met through YouTube, and it was cool. We started right about the same time, both had these dinky little channels that nobody was watching, and so we connected. And anyway, we've stayed in touch since then, and it's been pretty cool to watch you. We
met up at the World Series, actually.
That's true. But found each other's channels, and then met up at the series to both lose some money there. You did you actually walk away? I mean, you had some results of the series, but by the time you paid all your fees, you were down?
Yeah, I lost, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
It was a negative trip.
Sucks that you can do well and still be down.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how we met, and Gerry's just a good guy. We enjoy catching up from time to time. So talking YouTube, talking poker, and he was willing to be the first guest here. So, all right, let's get into it. I got a hand from the other day, and I want to hear your thoughts on this one. I'm gonna run something here. Let me grab my notes. I'm in the hijack, and it folds around to me, and I raise to $25 over a limper. So I shouldn't say it folds around to me. There's one limp, and we're playing 3-5. I've got 825 in my stack, and it folds. Other than the limper, it folds around to me. I make it $25 to go with ace-8 suited, ace-8 of spades in the hijack. And I get a call from the button and the limper. So the limper's in middle position. I'm in the hijack. Button calls. We go to a flop of 8 of diamonds, 5 of clubs. First of all, any thoughts on the limping? Like, should I be folding that ace-8 suited? Do you hate it? Hijack, all that stuff?
I don't think you should be folding the ace-8 suited in the hijack with one limper, for sure not.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, I don't know what the table dynamics are, but do you ever think that your sizing should be more than 5x with one limper? Maybe like 8x ever? 9x, 10x?
You'd go 10x there? I think it's way too big. I don't know if I go that big. Tell me why. What's your thought?
I'm saying, like, would what is your expected value essentially on ace-8 suited? It can't be more than, 2 to 3 big blinds per 100. So if you were just to go 9x, let's say, which is 45, you open to 45, and you pick up the limper folds, the big blind folds, and the small blind folds, you just made like 2.75x. And it's not like, a great result, but for ace-8 suited, that's probably what you're expected to make. You know what I'm saying? 2 to 3 big blinds per 100 on that hand. So picking it up right there with no variance whatsoever, I'm only spitballing here as an idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
25 is probably standard and fine considering one limper. And I don't know the game. I don't know how loose the game is or how limp heavy the game is, or what's going on. But I just a thought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's probably too much, but your point on the sizing is not. I don't think you're wrong. This table was calling really wide, calling a lot, and I'm pretty new to the table at this point. I've only been there for maybe 30 minutes or something like that, and maybe an hour at this point. But there's definitely like a lot of limping, a lot of calling, and so when I've been opening, I typically play this game quite a bit, and I typically open to about 4x, and then I'll add for each limper and that kind of thing. But I definitely could see sizing up. I think the problem is if we get called for $45, I don't know that we want to be raising ace-8 suited for 45. Maybe we just need to be folding that then. But then choosing to raise other hands up to a bigger size for sure. I mean, I could see like maybe 35. Does that seem?
Yeah, I mean absolutely, that could work. I guess if you're saying that they're calling extremely wide, the reason I'm advocating possibly for like something like 9 or 10x would be because if the table's calling wide, you really, really, really want to push the button out. And 35 might not push the button. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm less concerned about the limper as I am the button's cold call. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I want him to fold out all of his king, queen offsuits, queen, jack offsuits. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's in position to us, and a bad flop of you started to go over the flop, but if the flop's not, what was it, 8-5 deuce? Did you say
8-5-4 rainbow? Yeah.
8-5-4 rainbow. If it's 10-6 deuce rainbow, then what do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give him position, you check, he bets queen jack off, and you really can't call unless you just want to, check raise bluff, which almost next to no one does. But I'm that's what, I guess the sizing up for me is I want to be in position. If the middle position has a hand like king queen suited or king jack suited or any suited Broadway that he wants to call with, well then that's on him. But I definitely want the position advantage.
Yeah, and your point's about to be very, very validated. But let's keep going through this hand. So I flop top pair. The pot's $80. I bet 45.
Wait, so the middle position checks to you?
Yeah, middle position checks to me. I bet $45. I'm just over half pot here. We're multi-way. There's a possible flopped straight. So I'm not just going to completely blast off. I think I could have gone bigger here as well, like maybe more like $60. I've got a top pair that's not going to be a top pair very often by the river, so I don't even really want to see a turn card. So I probably should have sized up even bigger than 45. Anyway, so I bet 45 and both players call. Not ideal.
No, not ideal at all.
Turn.
I mean, you could make it 60, but I would say that what's 60 accomplishing that 45's not. And I mean that is king queen folding this flop for 60 but not 45, or is queen jack, or is any Broadway hands ace 10 folding this flop for 60 that's not folding to 45?
I mean, probably.
I would argue that you could even go 40 or 35. Because really here you're betting for value, right?
Definitely, but I also
and the range is super wide. So actually don't mind if ace-7 peels here or king-queen peels here. You know what I'm saying? In theory, that's not the worst thing for you.
Yeah, you're right. So, okay, so you're
right.
okay with the 45.
I'm never right. Don't ever, anyone listening, do not take it.
No, man.
Right.
No, we're talking hands. It doesn't matter. It's good. You've got good thoughts, and I think I don't know if I hate the 45. I could see an argument for larger just because there's so many bad turn cards. Because anything as an overcard we're gonna check on pretty much, and then anything under is adding to straight draws. So that's the reason I think I should have sized up is. But you're right. There's a lot of floats. We can definitely get value, but then we are kind of in a box, like you said, where now we're checking and who knows what we're facing. And so, Okay, well, so the turn comes down.
So you're 3 ways to the turn of a pot of 90.
215.
215.
Yep. So 215 is the pot size. We go 3 ways to a turn of the queen of diamonds. Middle position checks to me a second time. What are you doing here?
You have ace-8 of spades, correct?
Ace-8 of spades. No spades on the board.
2 diamonds on board?
I have second pair. There's 2 diamonds now. Yep.
With 2 callers, yeah, I mean, it just all depends. It's really tough to say, but it all depends on, the style of play that is happening and the level of competition at the table. But I think there's an argument for betting this turn, but I also can see checking this turn a lot. I'm going to say that this is just totally in my mind. Like, this is absolutely a player-dependent situation. You know what I'm saying? Whenever to check or bet, you could argue like 2 barrels. A lot of times will get people to fold a lot of stuff.
For sure, but I mean, to your point, being multi-way.
You could barrel 65 or 75 here. It could be easily 1/3 pot. It doesn't have to be a barrel of 100 plus. If we were going to, you know what I'm saying? Because let's say you make it 70, and then the button calls, then we're check folding, or just hoping to get the showdown.
Yeah, I guess at this point, multi-way, I'm kind of just hoping to get the showdown, try to improve.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. I mean, I agree with that strategy also. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Totally check, you know what I'm saying? Because you already had middle position check to you.
Right.
But, we also, at the same time, how often are both players floating us on that flow?
Yeah,
with your bet of 45, that's over half pot. If you bet 25 or 30, okay, I can see some really random stuff floating you there.
Yeah.
But, like, you bet 45, to me, that's like they have an 8 with you, or let's see, like, what would, like, 7-9 could float, I guess, if these are really bad players,
Sure, or like pocket 7s, pocket 6s maybe that have the gutter ball with a pair. We definitely have some of that. But I think also, I mean, if I'm the limper and I had, say, like 6-7 of, I don't know, clubs or something, and I have a flopped straight, I'm probably going to check, let you bet, and then check again. Yeah. So I don't know that I want to fire a second time. So anyway, so I end up checking, and the button checks back. And this is where it gets interesting. We go 3 ways to the river, which is the 10 of clubs. Middle position checks to me. I'm going to check again because I've got 2 overs now, and I'm happy just to get the showdown. Yeah. And the button bets 125 into 215. So now the question is...
Middle position folds?
Yeah, middle position folds. It's back on me.
And now are we hero calling or not?
Exactly. Exactly. So do we put on our cape, or do we just lay down and let these cards go?
I mean, his range is like super narrow here. It's either like 6-7 or 8-10. Like, who doesn't bet the queen when they get there?
Exactly.
I'm discounting a queen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
both players checked him. He calls flop and he doesn't bet his queen.
Yep.
So let's throw that out. Unless the only queen he doesn't bet would be queen 8.
I mean, I think he bets queen 8. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's either like 8-10, a set of 10s.
Which doesn't make sense pre-flop, right? He would have 3-bet the 10s in position pre-flop.
I don't know the player. Would he? Because nobody's 3-betting.
Okay, all right.
You know, like literally.
Yeah. I would say most players on the button pair 10s, especially this player was pretty splashy, so I would expect the 3-bet. So I'm not giving him credit for 10s, but you're laying out exactly what I said. It's like he either flopped a set or flopped a straight, or he had exactly 8-10 and hit it, but nothing else really makes sense. Or, there's some weird world where...
Or a set. Any set, like 4s.
Yeah.
But why would he check back the turn with like a set of 4s or 5s? Or 8s?
Exactly. Even then, it's hard to imagine that he has the set. So really, the most likely thing he has here is 8-10, right?
Yeah, or 6-7. But he wouldn't...
Or 6-7.
The 8-10, yeah, for sure. I guess. But I've seen it's just so wild because playing in Texas, you see crazier things. You know what I'm saying? You do. Really, you're like ace-8 can't be good here, and you fold, and they show 7 deuce, and you're like, or 7-3 or 7-4, and you're like, oh, got me.
Right.
So let's just say as we're sitting here talking, let's take out the idea of his hand range, and let's put in the fact that he's a splashy player. He's not that great. Do we think we have so many better future spots against him than this one?
Hey, that's a really good point. It's a really good point.
Saying, take out
sure.
I feel like I know this guy's got some random ace high bluff here, but what are we playing? 3-5, so we only have to be right 25% of the time because he bets about half pot on the river. But is that worth any other spots that we could get it in very good against him for? My math is failing me right now, but it seems to be about 35 big blinds or something like that as the river bet. 25 big blinds. Sorry, 25.
Yeah.
Big blinds.
Yep. Yeah.
I think there's tons. It sounds like to me because I wasn't there. I don't know, and we're only speaking in theory here, talking after the point, not in game.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that there's probably a lot easier spots to take 25 big blinds from this player than this situation. That's
a really fair point. That did not run through my head at all.
No, it never
does. I was really fixated on what does he have here? He would have had to have slow played a set or a straight, which seems unlikely when you're multi-way with a chance to get more money in the pot. Or he has 8-10. I don't know what else he can really bet. And so I just sat there forever. And what we just talked through, I have it in the recording. It's going to be in the next episode. But you can just hear me go through, you would have bet a queen. Doesn't make sense. What 10s should you have here? And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to throw in a call. Show me some bad news. He's like, yeah, I got a pair of 10s. And
one pair of 10s.
One pair of 10s, but guess the 10. Guess what card went with the 10?
7-10.
Wow. Okay. Good job.
Well, because it gives him the straight draw.
Right. Yep. So he had 7-10 offsuit on the button. So to your point, that pre-flop, we could have just made this $35 and he's probably folding. I think you're...
Maybe. Yeah, 35, 45, whatever. Or, the sad part is that's probably the hardest part about poker is, mentally, when you're in these spots and you're just going, next time I should make it $100 pre-flop because he's going to call me with 10 cents. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
In theory, you can make it $50 pre-flop with Jack 7 there if he's going to call you with 6-9 offsuit. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But at the same time, then we're like, dude, why would I ever raise $50 in the cutoff with Jack 7?
Yeah.
It's just and then you're just this guy gets there, and it's just It's the mental game of poker is akin to like Navy SEAL training. Let me tell you. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, this was a nice swift kick in the balls when I announce out loud, like, hey, there's no way you have a 10, so you have 8, 10, or you have nothing. And then he's like, I have a 10.
Yeah.
just a swift shot to the shorts. So, oh well.
But I think the takeaway here from both of us is the idea of, can I get 25 big blinds off this guy in another situation, in a better situation for me?
Sure.
And I think we both agree the answer would be yes. So that's the reason for the fold, which isn't theory, which isn't exploitative, whatever. I mean, everyone's going to say. But, I think that's probably the takeaway from the hand, most likely.
Sure.
Just my opinion. But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, no, it's a good thought, because that didn't even run through my mind. But definitely this is a player, after playing this hand, where I guess after this moment I started thinking, okay, I really need to just focus in on getting the chips in when I've got it, rather than trying to call a bluff when if that's not the level we're playing on, then I need to not try to play on that level with him. So
right, agreed.
Yeah. Anyway, no, good thoughts. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. So, final question for you. We'll just kind of end it on a light note. You can go forward 50 years into the future or backwards 50 years. Which are you going to choose?
To live?
Yeah, just you can head either direction in time. Take a gamble on the future, or head back 50 years and see what it's like. Which one are you going to choose?
I got to go back 50 years for sure.
Why is that?
I think the world was just different. I don't know where the world's headed, and I guess the future 50 years would negate me from missing out on a lot of family time. And if I go back 50 years, I guess I still have the possibility of creating that 50 years. Now, am I going 50 years at my current age?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. So then everyone in my family will be just old or dead, and I'll just be 30 something.
You thought this through on a deeper level than I did. I just came up with a question.
I'll be younger than my daughter. It'll be great.
I didn't think about anybody like dying or not being there with you. It's taken such a dark turn, Gerry.
Sorry, that's think about it, but anyways, yeah, definitely back 50 years, because you just don't know what you'd miss going forward 50 years.
Yeah. I think I would have to agree. I remember. I mean, maybe I sound like an old man, but I just remember life before technology and thinking how simple things were. And
it would be way better to go back 50 years, like, definitely.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, there's a ton of great things that we get from we're doing this because of technology, right? So
absolutely.
It's very cool, but there's something to be said about just the simplicity of what life was back then. So, right on, man. Well, thanks for joining me. Tell people where they can find you on YouTube and Instagram and all those things.
Oh, GH Poker, GH Space Poker on YouTube. I think it's like GH Poker on Twitter, and GH _ Poker, or GH Poker _ I can't remember, on Instagram. I don't think there's any other GH Pokers out there. So
okay, sounds good. Hopefully they'll find the right guy. So we'll link your information down in the description box. Thanks for being here, and
thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's do this again soon.
Yeah.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this and got something out of it yourself. If you want to learn more about Gerry Harris, I will link some of his information down here in the description box below and give you a chance to click on one of his most recent vlogs so you can enjoy it for yourself. The guy's great, he's a good friend, and I think you'll enjoy some of his content. Thanks for watching, have a great week, go crush your table, and I will talk to you next time.